Let's talk about loneliness. So it's been a bit over a month and a half since I moved from all the way over in the middle of Europe to Japan, and I think I can now give a bit of a verdict on how I deal with loneliness. It's no secret that moving to a new country is very, very difficult. I've been living in the same area pretty much my entire life. In fact, I've only really moved once before I came here, and so for me this has been a very big change. And so because some of you guys requested that I make a video about loneliness, today I decided to talk a bit about my experiences and let you guys know what insights I might have. Before I get into it though, a little bit of a disclaimer, since I definitely would consider myself an extrovert, and some of these things obviously can be a lot more difficult for people who consider themselves introverts, so just keep that in mind and take everything that I say with a grain of salt. So there's no real way around it. It's gonna be hard for a little while. In my experience, the first few weeks were obviously the most dreadful, the hardest. I just felt alone. I felt like no one was really around to hang out with me. And that's although I have been in Japan 3 times before and I have friends here. But so I think this is kind of a universal thing, not just moving to Japan, but if you move to a new country or city or anywhere, expect it to be difficult for a few weeks. It's not fun, but it'll end at some point. I think for me, the big turning point of when I didn't feel as lonely anymore is when I just started actually reaching out to people. I think I kind of had to get over the initial hump of, prioritizing other things like getting settled, getting my registrations done, getting all my healthcare settled and all that stuff that I thought was so much more important than actually, nourishing my soul. And so I kind of pushed away hanging out with people until like 3 weeks in, and that's when I started reaching out to the friends that I had already made here. I started talking more with people at school, and I think I got a bit more of a foothold, and it really felt good to finally have some social interaction again. But so to be honest, around 3 weeks in was also the time when I started my part-time job, and that leads me to the next point. So I consider myself a workaholic, meaning that I really like being busy. Obviously, working at the new part-time job not only gave me some new connections since my coworkers are really nice and I'm really happy about them, but also I was just more busy. And that gave me less time to think about how miserable I was. I think for me, it really helps to just know that, okay, today I gotta do this amount of work, and then I gotta do this amount of schoolwork, and then I gotta do this and that, and then I gotta clean up, and blah, 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 blah. For me, routine is everything. And so having this kind of routine that just kind of fills up my day and fills up my weeks has really helped me get distracted from, the apparent loneliness of being all by myself. On top of all the workload that I already have, obviously I also like immersing myself with my own projects like music and art and YouTube and all those things. So whatever works for you, I think keeping yourself a bit busy is definitely gonna work in your favor. Obviously don't overdo it either and don't burn yourself out, and still try to at least make time to have the opportunity to be social. But I think there is a lot of value in just kind of recognizing that keeping yourself busy is going to put your mind onto other things. One thing I definitely want to talk about is that although the goal is to find a new network, a new support system within the new place, within Japan, for me, it is so important to cherish and really appreciate the connections that I've made already. I try to keep in contact with my friends from back home and also from other places all over the world, and so far that's been really helping me out so much. Because at the end of the day, I think although it is so important to have people that you can hang out with and have, fun activities that you do together with, but I think what's more important is that there's someone that really cares about you and you really care about them. With some of my best friends, I get on a call. I try to get on a call with them every week. And with my family, for example, I do call my mom every week. I try to also call my grandma, which by the way, it's my grandma's birthday. I should call my grandma. But on that note, I think I've really grown to appreciate the times that I have that I can talk to my family with, or that I can talk to my friends from back home with, because in my mind, being so far apart really does make the heart grow fonder. And so although I'm super grateful that I have such a great support system back home, I still found that that is not enough. I think it's really up to each individual person what they define as a network, but to me, having a network means that I have some people that I would really consider friends, not just acquaintances, that I can hit up and we can go hang out together and we have some activities that we like doing together. And as of right now, I don't feel like I have that yet. I'm working on it. Obviously, it's difficult to make connections with people that you either haven't seen in over 3 years or you've never seen before, since I am meeting a lot of new people. But I think the most important thing to remember is that just always, always, always try to be yourself. Honestly, this is something I have really struggled with in the past since I am a big people pleaser. But now when I meet a new group of people, I try to really authentically be myself. And if they don't like me, if they don't invite me again the next time because I was being myself and they didn't resonate with that, that's fine. I can find a different group that resonates with me more. I think I'm at a stage in my life where I just really value being myself more than fitting in with other people, which is definitely something I used to do. But even if I'm lonely, even if it sucks not really having a friend group that really just loves me and, you know, cherishes me and wants to do things with me, it's better than pretending to be someone else than I actually am. And I think the biggest takeaway for me when it comes to finding a network is that there is no need to rush. Getting used to living in a new country is just a huge challenge, and I think making friends and finding a network is the hardest one of all of them. So give it some time. What I've read online is that most people start to feel somewhat actually settled in their circles after like 3 months. And it might take longer, it might take shorter, who knows. I think it is always important to just kind of keep in mind that you are still being yourself, and you do not need to be someone else to fit in with other people. No matter what, you will find your people. Just give it some time. They will find you, you will find them, and it will be way better than you just pretending to be someone else and fitting in with people that are not really connecting with you. So at the bottom line, I know it sucks to just say, just give it some time, it'll get better, but that's the truth of it. There's no real solutions I could find to this issue of being lonely. It will just have to pass. The best tip I can really give you is to, like, if you are a language school student like me, talk to your classmates, make sure that you kind of make connections, make group chats, try to hang out, find some events that you might want to go to and say, hey, does anyone else want to go here? But if you feel like you really don't click with the people in your environment, in your workplace or in your school, then I would suggest you look up some meetups online. That's what I did when I initially came to Japan for the first time back in 2018. And that really helped me just kind of at least find some people to do things with, to do activities with. And with some of them, I'm still friends with today. And so of course, I understand that some people might not be comfortable with just walking up to an event full of strangers. But if it is something that you think is, you know, possible on any level, get out of your comfort zone. Talk to people, walk up to them, just, you know, strike up a conversation, talk about your experiences, ask about their experiences. Since I think the biggest thing that you can relate to with other, at least foreigners that moved here, is that you are in a new country. I think there's this kind of spiritual camaraderie between a lot of the foreigners who live in Japan like me, because it really feels like we're all just kind of looking out for each other and we're all just trying to make the best of living in a country that is so inherently different than what most of us are used to. And even if you're trying to make friends with Japanese people, don't be deterred by the stereotype that Japanese people are so cold. There are really, really nice people out there who are just, you know, super happy to get to know you, super happy to talk to you in Japanese or in English, whatever it is. I find that as soon as you take control over your loneliness by just actively getting out of your comfort zone and talking to new people, the feeling of being lonely automatically declines. Because at least you're doing something about it. I think the worst thing that I could have done in the situation of moving to Japan is kind of feeling like a victim of like, oh no, boohoo, I'm so lonely. But you know, I came here for a reason. I wanted to be here. And I knew going into this that it wasn't gonna be easy, but here I am and I'll make the best of it. So I'm sorry if this video is kind of rambly, but I think I just wanted to kind of get all my thoughts out of my head and just put it into one big video. But so as a conclusion, I am definitely still a bit lonely. I don't really think I have a network yet. I do hang out with people like once or twice a week, and I really appreciate that, and I try to just push for those social events. I think the biggest takeaway for me is really just that, yeah, this does take time, and it's totally fine. I can just concentrate on the people that I already know love me and I love them. I can concentrate on my work and just kind of make friends along the way. And although I definitely am a bit lonely, I am absolutely not homesick. I still love Japan. I think Japan has so many cool things to offer. And if you'd like to see some more content about Japan, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Also watch this video, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye bye.